guys. We love you here. I'm just going to discuss a little bit about the plea deal on Chris Watts on the 6th of November. Okay, first off, and this is my point of view, this is my opinion. I don't feel any less that he is guilty of killing his wife and disposing of his family the way he did. But everybody here in the USA has a privilege, and the privilege is your right to a fair trial, not pushed, not lied to into a plea. The death penalty was not even on the table yet. It was not formally filed. They hadn't even got that far yet because the state of Colorado is going to get rid of the death penalty like a lot of other states. It's costly, and a lot of citizens just don't agree with it anymore. Life in prison without parole seems to be a better deal because they can think long and hard every single day for what they had done. The defense team, I don't know what they were doing, but nobody seems to be done too much on this case. It's only been a few months, and the seriousness of this case, the crime that was committed, and the way it was done deserves more time. Chris Watts was in his cell, isolated on suicide watch. All information was kept from him as TV news and stuff like that, and maybe visitors come in, and his lawyers, they talked to him for whatever they talked about. Now, sitting in a cell for 2 months or so, depressed, obviously he's depressed. I'm sure it's, it's sinking in what he did and the outcome. His life is over. His life is surely over. He'll never get out. But I feel Chris Watts was backed into a corner and was pushed into a plea deal. I don't know what they offered him. Yeah, we'll take the death penalty off the table, but it wasn't even on the table formally, was not filed before a judge or whoever handles a death penalty case and says, yes, you can go for it, or no. But that's how that stands. And I just don't think that they should have made him make a decision like that so soon. Was everything looked into? Did doctors see him? Did they examine him? Was he in his right mind? Was he on steroids? Was he sick at the time? What was going on? this has all been looked into within a couple of months. Doctors, psychologists, therapists or whatever, doctors. Has he been treated for anything? I mean, did he just give up? If he just gave up, he's not in his right mind. Well, he's not in his right mind, but I mean, really, he doesn't know the law. Sometimes people they tell you things and that's all you know. That's all you know. So I don't think this case is over for the future because this case stinks. It stinks to high heaven. There's something fishy about it all. They think they can play God with somebody's right for a fair trial. And that goes for anybody that has to have a fair trial, not just Chris Watts. Anybody that needs a trial for whatever reason has the right to a fair trial. And that's my views on it. This case stinks. I don't know what they're doing in the DA's office. I know they all work for the state of Colorado, been court appointed to represent. So maybe the defense was pushed in and made him make a plea deal because they were told to do it no matter what. See, when stuff like this happens later on, it can backfire on you because it leads to an appeal of some kind, new evidence. The man was not fairly represented by his defense team. Really? Maybe that was the plan. Maybe it's the plan on the defense team. But you know what? Nobody wants to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a death penalty case when the man, Chris Watts, going to trial, he was going to get life. Making a guilty plea, he's going to get life. But they might as well give him the death penalty because they're going to put him in isolation. All his rights were taken away from him. He cannot file appeals. There's a whole bunch. They might as well give him the death penalty because what deal he has is just as bad as the death penalty. That's my view on that one. So let's comment and discuss this video on this part of the guilty plea. Thank you.